Alright lads, so today we got some exciting news in regards to our next set of resurrectable characters. I was expecting Valentine's characters, Machine Society in particular, but finally, we are getting Can't Fear Your Own World Round 4, TOKINADA, HALIBEL, and also Barragan are finally receiving their resurrections this upcoming mid-month. I believe on the 13th. Now, they're not the only thing getting upgrades this week. Again, on the 13th, we're also getting new 5-star plus accessories. And there is one worth talking about here. Donuts and also the New Year cards are getting the upgrades. Nothing really worthwhile. But the Misanga, an accessory you still use in Guild Quest for those Captain, Espada, Stormrater, Squad Zero killers, is now getting an upgrade. Originally, the killer increased effect was 30%, now it's 35%. So this is another example of an already meta accessory becoming just technically better. It's only 5%, but more damage is more damage. And it doesn't look like we're ever going to be getting, Squad Zero or Captain Killer stickers. So these accessories are going to be mainstays for those particular characters that you are using in Guild Quests. Hopefully they only take like 5 golden hammers to upgrade. I'd love if they were silver, but I'm pretty sure they will be golden. I guess we will find out on the 13th, but some of these will be worth upgrading depending on the character you are using in your Guild Quest teams. With that said though, let's have a look at what these characters have to offer. First and foremost, having a look at HALIBEL's soul trade, it is at 12% recharge, so any additional damage effect here is going to be great. Very possible they do go down the route of doing damage to enemies not afflicted by an element, and if we are to see a big damage increase on a character like this, it will probably be through that. Again, I'm already stacked when it comes to soul trait, so nothing she gets here is gonna be super crazy for me, especially because she isn't an enhanced soul trait, but a good damage soul trait nonetheless would be great to see. When it comes to the skills, she has Berserker, Bruiser, Devastation, Enhancer, Freeze, Frenzy, Havoc, and also Sprinter +1. So that's 8 skills right here, so I'm hoping I've kind of forgot what the limited Can't Fear Your Own characters do get in terms of skill cap. Hopefully we're going to see 1 new skill and then 2 new innate skills. What she likely is going to pick up here is multi-barrier, so she can offer 5 barriers for herself, 3 for her teammates. And then any damage increase is going to be great. Again, 50% more damage to enemies not afflicted by an element would be amazing to see here. Hopefully they can move the Havoc skill to her innate skill to give her a new one. Obviously still keep the Havoc, but again, like we saw with round 14 Ichigo, turn that Frenzy 1 into 2. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. So with that said, let's have a look at what we are getting here. So again, shout out to Molly Prim for this data mines. So first and foremost, recharge and 20% more strong attack damage only when at full stamina. That's a very good soul trait. Already right from the get-go, one of the best traits in the game. Great for any good technique character like Giselle, who is returning later tomorrow, and of course Grammy. I kind of forgot about it, but we can get guard break now, and that is one of the new skills that HALIBEL did pick up, and it's kind of noteworthy too, because HALIBEL might be one of the first characters, maybe I'm wrong here, to be given guard break as a melee rank killer, because that's one thing that melee rank killers don't need if you are using them in the content where there's only Arankars. They don't need guard break because, Arankars don't have guard against melee attacks. I think Basby was another character like this, but either way, guard break is good to have, right? When at full stamina, which does make sense because she will be having that extra survivability since she does have barriers. We are getting 30% more strong attack damage. Berserker did go up, I believe, by 20%. Okay, went up by 20%. We got the multi-barrier, and then we also got booster. So in all honesty, as far as resurrections do go, it's actually pretty decent. Again, perfect world, would have loved to have seen Frenzy +1 get changed to Frenzy 2. On top of all the damage increase you got here, that would have been actually really insane. But right now, she got that extra utility, she got the booster, so her SA2 is now offering more stats. That's more damage. With the soul trait and also this skill right here, you are getting a 50% strong attack damage increase. 70% overall with the Berserker skill here going up by 20%. And then she also got guard break, so whenever you are using a strong attack, that first initial hit will still be doing a lot of damage. So honestly, resurrection-wise, it's actually pretty decent. A lot of damage buffs here, utility effects here too, and also a good soul trait. If you are a fan of this HALIBEL and want to use her again, now she got a pretty good upgrades. After that, we have TOKINADA. Now, this one I'm kind of scared about because it's TOKINADA. He's such a fan favorite. Still can't believe to this day, it's only been like 4 or 5 years, but he hasn't gotten a remake. I don't know. I feel like this is a character you absolutely milk in Brave Souls. Now, with that said, TOKINADA is a normal attack damage character, so in all honesty, he doesn't need that much to become a significantly better character. For starters, his soul trait is normal attack damage plus 25%. Really hoping here, I wouldn't mind if he picks up recharge. I really wouldn't mind if he picks up recharge, but honestly, more damage at full stamina, maybe more normal attack damage at full stamina is going to be a really good soul trait to have on someone like TOKINADA, especially because he is already an enhanced soul trait. 1000G Blood Wars Soifon got a very similar soul trait, the original manga version, so would love to see something similar here, because then Heart would over have some really good soul traits for normal attack damage characters. When it comes to the skills, we have Sprinter, Paralysis, Guard Break, Flurry, Enhancer, Bruiser, and also Berserker. Berserker. So I think what we are going to see here, like we saw with Halibel, she got 10 skills, which I think might be a first. I'm actually not too sure. But we are going to get 3 new skills here, which is actually really cool to see on someone like Tokinada, on top of 2 innate skills. So 5 new skills here for someone like Tokinada to pick up. I would love for him to maybe pick up like damage to enemies not affected by an ailment. But the idea is that you are going to use him in guild quests and Giselle's going to inflict dominate. So I would just rather take what Halibel got, more damage at full stamina. Let's get that bruiser value up to like 50%. That'd be great to see. Obviously, the booster skill is needed. Maybe if they do want this character to be used in guild quest still, they're going to give him start barrier just to have that extra bit of protection. And if they can combine that with some damage at full stamina skills, that would actually be really good in my opinion. So scrolling down, let's see what Tokinada is getting. He got damage taken minus 12%. Personally, do not like that as a soul trait. I would have preferred just more damage overall. And normal attack damage and damage taken soul trait combinations are good, but not when you're offering more normal attack damage over less damage reduction. Would have definitely much preferred just more damage at full stamina here, or just full stamina damage in general. They could have went down those 2 routes. With that though, we did pick up long reach. That's something I never considered. Long reach on Tokinada is actually pretty good. I'm down for that. We also got dodge, swiper damage 40%. Bruiser though, to be fair, did get quite a massive increase there. Wow. I mean, it's only, to be fair, this is so good. 75 bruiser. That's a 55% increase. I guess that kind of makes up for the soul trait not being as good. Very rarely do we see bruiser increases go up that high. And that does make up for the chunk of his damage. So I'm actually very happy about that. We get start barrier plus 8. That's kind of a first. When it comes to skills like this, they do get less than the normal amount. But I think the standard has been plus 5. But I guess because he is a Can't For Your Watch character, he's getting special treatment to a certain extent. So plus 8 is actually really good. We do get the booster skill, and I believe we also picked up poise. So I'm liking the resurrection. I would have preferred if the sword trait was better. The 75% bruiser does make up for it, though. He's now going to hit significantly harder. He has the booster skill. The poise is going to be nice, too. The long reach, so extra range. Tokinada still is one of the more enjoyable and fun normal attack damage characters in the game. And now with this resurrection, it does make him significantly better, in my opinion. More damage, what you want, more utility, more range. And I'd say he's definitely equipped right now to be used even in Guild Quest content. Now, obviously, someone like Aaroniero does exist, the Future Society version, but if you don't have her, you can still use Tokinada. Again, though, personally, just nitpicking it, would have preferred even more damage, taking off that soul trait and giving him more damage at full stamina would have been a 10 out of 10 almost. And again, if, you know, we could have got Flurry plus 2 on top of all this, this would have been crazier, but this is a good resurrection. I wouldn't say his character shaft is. Well, thus far, these resurrections have been pretty decent, so going into our final character, Barragan, in this case, similar to Halibel, 12% strong attack recharge soul trait. Any extra damage skills here are going to be great to see. At the same time, what we might see here is just damage to weakened enemies, which might be decent. There's a lot of characters that can inflict weakening, right? So a soul trait like that might not be too bad. Having a look at his skills, we have Berserker, Bruiser, Debilitator, Devastation, Frenzy, Last Ditch Survival, Sprinter, and also Weakened Duration. So we have 8 skills here, so we are going to pick up 4 new skills, 2 innate skills, 2 new additional skills. And if you've played with this character since his release, one of them easily has to be Havoc plus 20%, right? This character naturally has like a bad strong attack free, so he needs Havoc. And Havoc on Barragan will actually be really cool. So we're probably going to see Havoc. We're probably going to see damage to weakened enemies, maybe an increased status on chance, and maybe also guard break. If, like Tokinada, we can get a pretty good Berserker increase here, up to like 60% on top of just new additional skills, that'd be really great to see in my opinion. So scrolling down, we'll be looking at here, so 12% recharge and damage to weakened enemies. I'm kind of okay with it. In terms of innate skills, we get exactly what we wanted here, Havoc and also guard break. And then with that, Berserker, for some reason, is still 20%. We get fire duration and weakened duration. Really? Those are completely new, right? So he got 2 new... No, he had weakened duration. Why did we get fire duration? I guess, to be fair, it is because of Guild Quest. This character, technically, if you were to use him there, is going to be in the ranged Arunka Guild Quest, where you do need to be immune to fire. So his status and duration, I guess, just didn't age the best. With that said, though, no Berserker increase is kind of unfortunate, especially because Tokinada and Halibel got quite noticeable damage increase here. To see Barragan just get 20% Berserker is like a bit weird to see. His only damage increase technically besides the guard break is the extra damage to weakened enemies. And honestly, if they weren't going to increase his Berserker value, maybe we should have seen Frenzy plus 2 at the bare minimum. He's still going to see a notable increase in his gameplay since he is picking up guard break and Havoc. Again, this character lacked range. That was the big part about him. So the 20% Havoc on a character like this will be cool to see. But in terms of damage output, I mean, he's very much lacking. Barragan was always the one that just got shafted amongst these 3 characters. He was the least exciting. Design-wise, he's amazing. amazing, right? But in terms of how he played, he was the worst of the three. And it seems like they're continuing that with his resurrection, unfortunately. Not really a good link, a situational link at the bare minimum. And then in terms of gameplay, damage output is the same, but at least now he has Havoc and Guard Break. It's even more weird too because the character itself only has 9 skills here, so like it really does feel like they purposely nerfed Barragan compared to the other two. Like besides not getting a single damage increase, he's just also lacking a whole skill that someone like TOKINADA and HALIBEL had. They both have 10 skills, meanwhile Barragan only has 9. I'd say overall I'm actually pretty happy with this resurrection batch though. Finally, it's super long overdue. HALIBEL I would say is almost perfect. Again, there always could be room for improvement when it comes to resurrections, but I like what HALIBEL did get. TOKINADA, I'm actually really happy with the skills that he did pick up. Would have just loved if he got an additional better soul trait. Damage taken probably is one of the worst things he could have gotten. It's not completely useless, but it could have been better if it was just more damage. And then Barragan is just, Barragan's a weird one. I don't know, what were they doing with him? It's like, it's so weird. And with round 4 finally done, does this now mean we are moving on to the other rounds of Conflict on World? Because again, we are noticeably behind at this point. If anything, that means next month's resurrection batch will likely be Kisuke, HALIBEL, and also Nelio, so another HALIBEL resurrection, I guess. And then the month after that should be Luffy, Shinji, and also Grimmjow if they are continuing the trend of doing one batch a month, right? I guess the better question now is, are we getting a second resurrection batch this month? Because again, I was originally expecting Machine Society. Since Valentine's is coming up and all, we could get a second batch at the end of the month. That's not guaranteed with Conflict Worlds. I guess we'll find out in like 2 weeks time. Likely this could be our only resurrection batch, but only time will tell. If we do get 2 though, that'd be great, because then that means we can continue along with Conflict resurrections and even more premium seasonal ones. And overall just more obs if you own the characters. Either way though, I hope you liked and enjoyed the video. In the comments below, let me know what you like to think about these characters, upgrades, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.